Week 10 of Dana White's Contender Series is this week, and I'm going to give you a prediction and breakdown of all 6 fights on this card, starting with the matchup of Davi Bittencourt versus Rocha. I believe this fight was supposed to be on week 9 of the Contender Series, but Rocha ended up missing weight, so they ended up just moving it on to the next week. I think one of the matchmakers did like this fight, so they just added it on to the next week here. So we are going to get 6 fights on this card. And I was actually really looking forward to this fight as of last week, because I thought it was going to be really close, and then just to see who would have the better advantage, because they are kind of a different little style matchup here. So I thought it was going to be very interesting. But with Rocha missing weight, I think I am going to go a Bittencourt in this matchup. I thought he was the bigger guy, and I thought if there was a potential weight miss, I would have thought Bittencourt probably would have been the guy, because he is a stockier guy. He does look a little bit bigger, but it ended up being Rocha. And then they ended up making weight the following week. I think this, what is this, upper weight class? I want to say, I want to make sure I'm correct here in case I'm wrong. But yeah, they made weight the following, it was supposed to be flyweight, and now it is 135. So they were able to make weight. But for Rocha, making weight 2 times in a row, I think it's going to be very rough on him, especially if the first one was very rough. So I am going to go Bittencourt. I did say in last week's video that I was going to go Rocha because he has shown some decent grappling, and he's going to be better on the feet, because Bittencourt doesn't have too much shown on the feet. But Bittencourt has the ability to take him down and is a very good grappler. And like I said in last week's video, Rocha has this tendency to give up his back quite a bit, and I think Bittencourt can definitely take advantage of that and get the rear naked choke finish. I don't remember if I did say I was going to choose Bittencourt. I honestly don't remember what my prediction was, but I am going to go with Bittencourt in this one. I think he does get the submission by rear naked choke, probably in the late first or second round here. I could see this one going to a decision, but I am just going to have to side with Bittencourt, especially after a rough weight cut. And I already thought this match was going to be relatively close. Anyways, Tapology is going with Bittencourt in this matchup. 57% picked by Tapology, 64% by decision, 15% by submission, 10% by TKO KO. Rocha is 43% picked by Tapology, 56% by decision, and 33% by TKO KO. So let's move on. Up the card, we have the matchup of Isakov versus Marquel Mederos. I'm going to go with Isakov in this matchup. I think he does have some decent striking. I don't think it's going to be up there with Marquel Mederos in this matchup. And because this is Contender Series and some of these guys don't have the best fight IQ, it does kind of worry me that Isakov will kind of just have to use his wrestling and grappling to win this matchup. And for some reason, the male fighters, it solely depends on fight IQ if you go for takedowns or not in your fights, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. So I am a little bit worried here picking Isakov, because I do think he's a very good wrestler, a very good grappler. But Mederos, I think, will be definitely better on the feet. Isakov is a very strong dude. I'll say that for sure. He's like a really jacked dude. You've seen it in his fights, especially at welterweight. He's a very big dude. But Mederos, just from the guys that it looks like he's fighting, Justice Lamperez, 8-8. He won that one by KO. That guy did not look like he knew what he was doing at all. And he kind of just had his way with them on the feet pretty early, ended up getting the finish. He is 26 years of age, so he does have a lot to grow, and I think as a prospect, he's actually a pretty solid prospect. But I think as of right now, 33-year-old, 34-year-old Isakov, I think is going to be a little bit more complete here. It does kind of worry me that he is a 34-year-old fighter, and I don't know if he'll get signed anyways. I'm surprised they're actually putting him on this card, to be honest. But I think Isakov, decent on the feet, has good power in his hands. He won't hang in there with Marquel Mederos, in my opinion. I think there is that potential that Isakov could catch Mederos in this matchup, but he is just going to out-wrestle him, and I think he's just going to transition over to his back, either use his grappling, get the submission, or kind of just hold him there and get the ground and pound finish. So I'm going to go with Isakov in this matchup, probably by a second round finish in this one. I'm not sure if it's going to be by submission or TKO. I will probably say it will probably be by TKO, just basically out-grappling him and just landing some really good ground and pound. So I'll probably just say that. TKO in the second round, 83% picked by Tapology, 27% picked by decision, 12% picked by submission, 52% picked by KO, TKO. So I am going to go with Isakov in this matchup. Up the card, we have Torrez Finney versus Yuri Panferov. I am going to go with Yuri Panferov in this matchup. I think as a fighter, like an overall fighter, I think he's a little bit more skilled. I like the way he grapples, although Torrez Finney is just like a massive dude. I'm gonna be completely honest, this dude is absolutely yoked. This dude is massive. He's not like a super big guy, like he's 5'7". Panferov will be 6 foot, and they are both kind of grapplers here, so I don't expect Panferov to really land too many takedowns on Finney, because Finney is a very short, stocky dude, and it's going to be very tough to land some takedowns on him. But Finney, very strong dude. He kind of just out-muscles his opponents down to the ground and holds them there and lands ground and pound. That's pretty much how his style is. Yuri Panferov, very good grappler. I've noticed he is getting a little bit better on the feet, which I do like. He does throw in combinations. He does have some decent power in his hands, so I think you should look out for that, especially if it does stay on the feet. I think he can keep a good distance here, especially with the height advantage, and I'm assuming it's going to come with a decent reach advantage as well. I don't know his exact reach here, but he's 27 years of age as well. Torrez Finney is 24, almost 25 years of age, so he's going to be developing also in this matchup. But I think Panferov, looking in the best shape of his life, I think he's losing quite a bit of weight. I don't want to say losing quite a bit of weight. He looks in better shape than his previous fights. He has looked a little bit meaty around the midsection. I'll just say that. That was kind of a weird way to say it, but he's been looking a little bit fatty, but he is kind of toning down a little bit more, looking a little bit more shredded. He's looking a little bit more in shape. He's feeling that muscle in there, and I think Panferov is going to be the more skilled fighter. I can see him getting the submission here. The thing that I don't like about Finney is that he kind of just outmuscles guys and holds them down to the ground and controls them and lands TKO strikes. That always kind of worries me in fights for some reason. I don't really like that, because what if he just doesn't get the takedown, and then he'll just have to deal with like the technical aspect of the grappling of Yuri Panferov. So I don't like that for Finney, and I think Panferov, again, the more technical grappling here, I think will win against Finney in this matchup, and I think he's going to be a little bit better on the feet. So if it does stay on the feet, I am going to edge it to Panferov, and I think if it does go to the ground, I wouldn't mind Panferov. Now, if he is on bottom, it is going to be a little bit worrying, but being a longer guy, it might be a little bit easier to land a little bit of a submission, like a triangle or something off his back. If Finney shoots in for a bad takedown, maybe he can scramble over to his back and get the submission there, or something like that. Establish control some way. It is going to suck for him if he does get taken down, because I think Torrez Finney will have a decent job finishing the fight there. But I am going to go Panferov in this matchup. I think he's shown a little bit more to me. 65% of Tapology is picking this fight for Panferov, 77% by submission. I think that's probably about right there as well. Finney does kind of just get takedowns very early on in fights, so maybe like a late first round submission here for Panferov is probably the way to go in my mind. 35% picked for Tapology here, 78% by TKO KO. So they're either saying TKO strikes basically off of control for Finney in this matchup, or Panferov basically getting the submission probably in like the first or second round. So I am going to go with Panferov in this matchup by submission. Up the card, we have Connor Matthews versus Jair Farias. I am going to go with Jair Farias in this matchup. I think I'm actually butchering his name pretty badly there, but they're both 30 years of age in this matchup. Connor Matthews was on Dana White's Contender Series last year against Francis Marshall. I can't remember who I picked in this matchup. I think it was actually a 50-50 one. I'm pretty sure I made money off this one as well. I think I might have said Francis Marshall, but I wouldn't be surprised if I say Connor Matthews. But it was a decently competitive fight starting out there, but Connor Matthews will definitely go out there and scrap. He's not defensively aware at all, and that's kind of a worry here. Like, he'll go out for scraps, he'll take the shots, but that's not kind of what you want here. And I think he can get hurt very badly against Jair Farias in this matchup. So I think Jair Farias, being the lengthier guy, I'm assuming he's going to be, or at least the way they fight, Connor Matthews kind of just walks forward and scraps. Jair Farias is going to be a guy that will maintain distance a little bit more, pick his shots, land shots down the middle, and I think that will definitely be a really big problem for Connor Matthews, because he does not take his head off the center line, and I think he's going to get hurt very badly with some of those strikes down the pipe. So I am going to go Jair Farias in this matchup. I think he gets the second round TKO. I think he does really well in this matchup. I do think he gets the finish. He's going to be slightly younger here. They're both 30, so they're both relatively in the prime of their careers in an MMA aspect and fighting aspect. So can't really take too much off of that. But I do think Farias is going to be the guy, just going to be a little bit more patient, landing the better strikes. And I think Connor Matthews is just going to try and walk down and try and catch him, make it a little bit of a scrap so he can land the better strikes as well. Jair Farias can definitely be hit, but I just think he's going to be a little bit more able to maintain a distance and avoid getting hit, unlike Matthews. Even though Farias, you can say he's a little bit more out open with his defense, I still think defensively and offensively, I think he can take advantage of Matthews a little bit better in this matchup. So 84% is picking Farias. I'm probably butchering it either way, but 74% picked by Tapology, by TKO KO, 84% overall, 16% for Connor Matthews in this matchup. I'm going to stick with Jair Farias in this matchup. Matthews does have a chance, but I'm a little bit more confident in Farias in this one. Up the card, we have Rickson Zenidim versus Andre Lima. I'm going to go with Andre Lima in this matchup. I think this is going to be a relatively close fight. I'm actually surprised by the odds, and by the way people are talking about this fight. Maybe I'm missing something. Andre Lima is going to be a better guy on the feet, but the way Rickson ties Zenidim fights, he's a very weird fighter. Like, he'll throw a lot of knees, he'll throw a lot of high kicks, but again, he's just defensively not really aware, kind of like the previous guy. I think he can definitely get caught in this matchup and put down pretty badly. I think in his last fight that he did win against Carlos Huachin, I believe is his name, he did get put down relatively badly in that one before actually winning the fight there. And Andre Lima isn't that great on the ground. I mean, he's decent there, but he can get taken down. I believe in the second round of his last fight against Igor Tailan, he ended up getting the finish after getting his back taken and kind of held there. He was able to get out of those bad areas. So I think he's going to be able to kind of do the same against Rickson, Tai Zenidim if it does end up going to the ground. But I can just see Rickson kind of just sticking out on the feet, and I do see he does have a chance to maybe like land a knee to the face or like a high kick maybe, because he does kind of just like to scrap a little bit more, even though I don't think as like a durability standard, I don't know if he's necessarily there. But I think Andre Lima is just going to be a little bit better on the feet. Not a little bit better, I think he's going to be better on the feet. I think he's going to be able to land some really good shots on Rickson and end up getting the finish probably in the first round. I can see him catching Rickson, and then Rickson kind of just being too late on that takedown. I can just see him being one of those fighters that doesn't have the best fight IQs. He is 24 years of age, so he's going to improve. They're both 24 years of age, so they're both going to improve. But I just think Andre Lima on the feet is just going to be the better guy here. I think he will end up getting the finish in the first or second round. I can definitely see it being a 3-round fight. Tapology is kind of saying that a little bit as well, 50-50 on the finish. I can see it, but I don't know how much I trust the durability of Rickson just taking a bunch of damage from Andre Lima. Maybe he just fights out there with his heart and just keeps going, but I don't know. I'm going to say second round finish for Andre Lima in this matchup. I'm not super confident in the way he wins, but I can just see him winning this fight, whether it's just damage over 3 rounds or getting the second round finish. So I am going to go with Lima in this matchup. 73% pick by Tapology, 49% by decision, 39% by TKO KO. I'm going to go with Andre Lima by finish in the second round. Of the card, we have Ramon Taveras versus Cortavious Romious. I think is how you say his name. That one's a really rough one. You got to take that one slow. But I am going to go with Cortavious Romious in this matchup. Ramon Taveras was previously on the Contender Series this year. Did lose to Cerise City in a weird stoppage, and Dana White kind of didn't like that, so they gave him another chance, which I do kind of like. But in that fight, Ramon Taveras was able to land some really good shots early on, but like it seemed like once he got hit, he kind of just went down. Although it was ending up being the finishing sequence, he was kind of still in there. But the fact that it was a good shot that he got hit with, but the fact that he got finished off of that, like immediately after once he did get hit, kind of worries me in this matchup. And we don't know much about his takedown defense because he hasn't fought some of the best guys in the world. So I think Cortavious Romious is going to be able to take him down if he wants to. I think he's going to be able to hang in the feet if he wants to as well. I know Ramon Taveras is actually a very good guy on the feet, so I think it's going to be pretty rough for Cortavious Romious, especially in this matchup. If he does kind of just stick there, that'll be really rough for him. But I think if he does mix in the takedowns, puts on the pressure on Taveras, I think he's going to be able to land some really good shots on Taveras and maybe possibly get a submission, because I believe he does have quite a few submissions on his record. He has, 2 wins by TKO KO and 4 subs in the first round, especially recently being armbar, another armbar, rear naked choke, and then decision. And he had quite a bit of TKOs early on, but lost a split decision to Jornel Lugo, rear naked choke finish, armbar. So maybe he does get another armbar finish here. I don't think he does. He's going to be a smaller guy here, which is kind of worrying. 67 inches of reach to 70 inches of reach here, and 5'4" to 5'8". That is a little bit worrying, but I think getting a takedown might be a little bit easier because it is going to be a little bit more of a bigger guy, not necessarily as in like complete size, but I think just the length of Taveras is going to make it a little bit easier for Cortavious to get the takedown here. And I think he will mix in his offense. I think he might get the finish in like the late first or second round in this fight, in all honesty. I think he does get the submission. I think he's very good in the grappling. Again, we don't know too much of Taveras' level of grappling in this match, and I think Cortavious can do a really good job in this one. So I'm going to go with Cortavious Romious. I need to make sure I get that name right. By second round submission, if not late first submission. I know it's a little bit rough there, but actually, I'll say late first round submission. I think he does end up getting the takedown. Maybe he puts on the pressure, and maybe it's a little bit too much for Taveras in this matchup. And I think he does end up taking like a back or taking an arm or whatever. I think likely probably the back and end up getting the submission there. So 87% picked by Tapology, 10% by decision, 69% by submission, 15% by TKO KO. So I'm going to go with Cortavious, Romious by first round submission. Let me know what you guys think about this matchup. Let me know what you guys think about this card. It is going to be 6 fights, so I am actually kind of excited. I think they'll kind of move this one at a high pace because they normally fit like a 2.5 hour episode with all the fights. So I'm sure they'll just go one after another before like not even really waiting for the main event like they normally do. So should be a really fun card. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.